Good day, beautiful people. I am coming from an objective perspective as much as I possibly can, but I must admit, when I first heard this, it was not a good feeling whatsoever, especially in the wake of some of the people being elected to President Donald Trump's cabinet. Already, some colleges have claimed reverse discrimination in their plight to get rid of affirmative action. And now we have major companies and corporations getting rid of DEI projects. Walmart being at the top of the list as one of the largest chains and employers. Harley Davidson, John Deere, Tractor Supply, Lowe's, Toyota are among some of them. And I'm sure there will be more to come.
The company said every decision comes from a place of wanting to foster a sense of belonging, to open doors to opportunities for all of our associates, customers, and suppliers.
This is the single largest employer in the United States. We are talking about a company that is worth almost $1 trillion on its own.
This is Robbie Starbuck, and he has been involved in pressuring a lot of these major companies to get rid of their DEI programs. I am not sure of the significance of his last name, but it's something to pay attention to, because Starbucks is actually one of the companies that did away with DEI. I'm not exactly sure the aim of this new administration, the 2025 project, and all of these people just coming out of the word work with some underlying aims is quite alarming. The women's and ethnically minority LGBTQ communities often get lumped in together, and that can be beneficial and a bit of a problem.
The fact that these efforts are so easily undone strongly signal to me that they were not as durable as they should have been in the first place, that the commitment to them, the corporate commitment, was not as strong as it should have been.
What message does this send to other retailers, to consumers? What are the far-reaching implications?
When companies abandon their commitment to DEI, especially a company as big as Walmart, it gives others permission to do so.
According to experts, popular stores are not alone. Universities in Idaho are also having conversations about tossing out DEI policies and the office altogether.
As I stated before, I'm not exactly sure of the aim of this administration and some of the people that are so closely involved in it. Walmart's moves underscore the increasing pressure faced by corporate America as it continues to navigate the fallout from the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in June 2023, ending affirmative action in college administrations. Emboldened by that decision, conservative groups have filed lawsuits making similar arguments about corporations targeting workplace initiatives such as diversity programs and hiring practices that prioritize historically marginalized groups. Additionally, Walmart will no longer consider race and gender as a litmus test to improve diversity when it offers supplier contracts. The company said it didn't have quotas and will not do so going forward. It won't be gathering demographic data when determining financing eligibility for those grants. Walmart also said it wouldn't renew a racial equity center that was established through a 5-year, $100 million philanthropic commitment from the company, with a mandate to, according to its website, quote unquote, address the root causes of gaps in outcomes experienced by Black and African American people in education, health, finance, and criminal justice system. Across the board, I don't see this being very good. Like I said, when I first heard this, I didn't feel very good about it at all. As you can see here, this is just one of many lawsuits I'm sure are to come, either based on the roll out or rolling back of DEI programs, and just the racial animosity that's going to come from all of this. I'm already seeing it. I'm already feeling it. You can hear it in the tone of some of these politicians. And you see that some of these colleges and universities are reversing affirmative action. I try to stay as objective as I possibly can when I bring stories and issues like this, but it's very hard to, because you cannot erase over 400 years of inequity and oppression and depression and suppression with just 60 years of some type of retribution, which hasn't truly been retribution at all. You're going to start to see lawsuits because of this, and the fact that affirmative action got appealed when it comes to some colleges. You're going to start to see a lot of lawsuits on both sides, from both ends. The George Floyd case brought a lot of companies to DEI, and I saw a statement that said because people aren't angry anymore, it could be why a lot of companies are rolling back DEI. As you can see here, California bill would allow public university admission priority for descendants of slaves. That's going to be beneficial for ADOS, but you know there are going to be certain groups that are going to have a problem with that as well, and so there are going to be lawsuits about it. I want to speak a little bit about quote-unquote wokeness. Wokeness can have good and bad connotations to it, but it's mostly good connotation, because every time something comes about that is actually good for a particular group of people, and I'm not going to mention this because I'm trying to stay as objective as I possibly can, some negative connotation or attachment gets put on it to make it negative. I don't know when wokeness became an issue, when being conscious, when being an advocate for your best interests became a problem. And the fact that wokeness gets slapped on everything is something that we should really pay attention to. And the fact that quote unquote wokeness and being knowledgeable and aware is actually being attacked. And as you can see here in this bottom story, military leaders are rattled by a group of quote unquote woke officers, and they're having head staff put in charge of firing these officers for being woke. And from what I read, these officers sometimes post advocacy topics that affect certain people, and some military officers have issues with some of the things that they're posting. This is a dangerous and slippery slope. It's starting to infringe on freedom of speech. If you look close enough, it's also starting to infringe on human rights. Let me know what you all think about this situation, about the DEI rollbacks, the affirmative action appeals, and just the whole climate and temperature and the tone of what we're feeling and seeing right now with all of these changes and events. Walmart is one of the largest companies and employers. That really says a lot, because even if you did want to boycott or not support Walmart, it would be very hard to, and they know it.
Companies need to listen to our movement. We are powerful and growing every single day.
We will not stop until we have eliminated wokeness in corporate America.